Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan, joined as always by my partner in crime, Mr. Producer Paul. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. It's been kind of a weird day. Didn't get much sleep, so we're kind of kooky, Producer Paul, but that's going to make the show fun.
You know what? I'm having trouble with my sleep, too. Ever since I got back from National Harbor, and I've just been, like, kind of having this weird, like, I'll fall asleep early, like, around 8:30, and then I'm up at, like, 1.
Yeah.
And then it's just rinse and repeat. It's just kind of how my life is going right now.
I noticed this morning I was at work and I was like, Mick's awake. Okay. It's like, you good? You're like, yeah, man. I was like, all right. Well,
yeah, I was like, I got up and I didn't even get up. Like, I need to. I think that's my problem. I just sit there restless, hoping to fall back to sleep. You got to get up.
Yeah.
You gotta circulate your blood. You gotta like get that oxygen going because something's happening in your body. It needs you to get up in that moment. And I bet you once you get up and you get that restlessness out, you're going to go right to sleep. So I'm going to try that probably again tonight. But I don't know. My sleep is off. I have like an overnight marathon this weekend for Joe Bob is doing his night marathon. So I got the kit. I'm going to hang out with the Mutant fam. I'm going to watch all the movies. Starts at 9 p.m. ends in the morning. Wish you would be there.
Is that Friday to Saturday or Saturday and Sunday?
It's when's the 30th? Today is 27th, 28th, 29th. So it's Friday.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'll be able to.
Son of a gun.
Maybe I'll sneak in. Because my job doesn't know when I'm there or not.
You can always text me. I'll keep you updated.
Yep.
So all I know is I got to get in that sleeping. Like, I'm going to do the overnight. Hopefully the overnight will like reset me. But here's the problem. Here's the problem, Paul. Here's where my mental health can't take it. All right. So we get to a point where I stayed at my brother's house last week when I was going to National Harbor for the conference. So I saw both my brothers there. And that's a wild experience in my family. When it comes to my family, there's a lot of contentiousness. Like, I don't think it's meant to be contentious, but we can't help but like be contentious. like it's just everything, everything kind of like sprout. Like when my one brother, who you've seen on the Outcast, my brother AJ, I left. I walked out of his home. I was like, I can't talk to you anymore. I have to leave now if we're gonna stay brothers. Like, I'm like, I have to go.
Oh shit.
and he followed me out and he's like, hey man, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. I love you. I gotta go. I was like, that's too much, So, and now fast forward, like I get home doing the thing, and my sister and her family are coming this weekend. So I'll be up all night. And by the time that's over, my sister and her family are coming, and I'm going to have to entertain them all day and then all night. And like, then I'll go to sleep. And then, although my brother-in-law is Peruvian, that guy will get up and start cooking at like midnight. And that's a problem for me because now I'm on no sleep, and then he's going to start cooking some good food. And then I'm going to be up. I'm never going to sleep again. I'll tell you next week when I'm just up for 7 days.
Yeah. I'll do it with you, Mick. No problem. Let's do it.
You do it anyway.
I know.
I'm not aiming for it. Oh, dude, I got a new Beetlejuice shirt, Fright Rag.
I saw earlier. I love it. That's really cool. I'm so excited for Beetlejuice. We pre-ordered our tickets for the Thursday showing, and I'm glad Matt, Sam, and I did, because they're sold out for Thursday and Friday out here.
Yeah,
completely.
It's what's funny, everyone. So there's one little circumstance, but we're gonna be doing another giveaway next month, and next month's come right around the corner. So you have to be on the Patreon to find out. Remember, follow for free, paid free, whatever it is, you'll be in the know because you're getting a Discord too. But we're gonna be doing another giveaway, and I'm gonna give a little hint as to what it could be. There's one little string to possibly not be able to do this, but let me give a little hint. Boom, popcorn buckets. And you can only win it if you're in it. And that's right, you got to be a part of the Patreon. Follow for free, and you are in. Congratulations to our last winners of the Deadpool popcorn bucket and the Wolverine Cup. Tim won the Deadpool popcorn bucket, and James won the congratulations, guys. So, all right, we kind of spiraled there a little bit. Also, thanks to our sponsor, StubHub. You were awesome. We're buying my tickets there. Just got my AGR tickets, and it was awesome. You're great. So check out the link below. Plug. So I promised him I would do a pre-roll and then turning into a mid-roll. So yeah. Anyway, we get to the point where I'm probably going to be up for the next 7, and we have guests next week too. Oh man, I got to prep. We're going to be talking a lot. We got some fun stuff for next week. We haven't even talked about this week, but we're going to have some fun stuff for next week. The VHS Club podcast will be joining in. So that's going to be a lot of fun. They're a great time. So make sure you check that out. Also,
catch up on their episodes.
Yeah, man. You absolutely should.
I will.
They're awesome. No, you listen to everything. I don't even want to hear it. That's like that. What I just said is like normal rhetoric for like normal people when it comes to podcasts. When Paul comes to podcasting, he goes hard, and here's where it got the most deflating to know this about Paul is I would have used him as a judge for the freaking snobbies as much as I could. And and he would have been great at it. But my biggest thing with you, Paul, is I remember when you started listening to Scene Snobs and you kind of went all in on it, man. And I always appreciate it. I was like, man, we got like one of the number one fans and now a co-host. He was like our number one fan. Because you would text me like, hey man, I'm up. I'm starting from the beginning. And like you text me like pictures of the episode and stuff. But you do that for every podcast. So like, fuck you, man.
No, that's just the ones you have on here.
I'm kidding.
I just like to know who we talking to.
No, I love that, man. And you're a podcast guru, so I love it. Amanda Broom, what's going on? How you doing? And you don't know how to sneak in. I do. Well, no, I don't sneak anywhere. There's no sneaking.
Right.
Oh my God. Former President Donald John Trump. Would you come on the show and talk to us? I would love to. I would absolutely love to. He was a president. Please come on the show. I would love to interview. I wouldn't even be a dick. I'm not going to be a dick. I'm not an asshole. If a former president and a presidential candidate is sitting Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy.
Now that's going to run through my head the rest of the night. Kennedy. Just you saying it just like Kennedy.
That. Oh, your maple syrup is so true. We should make up our own version of stuff that we know about Canada. Flannels are comfortable. Long johns too. Amanda says Paul doesn't know how to sneak. No sneaking for you, sir. So here we go. I want to talk about revenge. Yes. I want to get into it. Before we get into our like top fives and stuff like that, I really want to talk about like the genre. What do you think? Let's start right from the script. What do you think about revenge movies in a whole?
I mean, typically, if they're done correctly, they're really good. You just gotta like, it's sad, but it's gotta be something tragic. I don't like in my opinion, yeah, I kind of like something more tragic or something more gripping that you can connect to, where you're like, oh, okay, and it's not in my top 5, but like John Wick, for instance, like someone killed his dog. Like, yeah, man. I 100% understand why you're doing it. So something like that, to where you're like, yeah, absolutely. If that happened to me or my family, like, yeah, that's going to be a problem. And yeah.
Listen, I knew when I took this topic, like you would run with it. I knew like Paul was going to be like, not only am I going to like pick my movies, I'm going to watch them in my underwear while I eat soup. It's just like tomato soup in your underwear watching like revenge tales. So a tragedy, and more of a tragic movie is like is what constitutes more of a revenge tale for you. So if it's more comedic or a prank being pulled on somebody, that sort of revenge, that doesn't really count as that, you say?
For me personally, not quite as much, unless it makes up for it. So like, for instance, The Hunt for me was still a good revenge tale, but it was mainly a comedy. So it's not like I was gripped in like, oh, this was a great revenge story. It was just kind of like, yeah, they just chose the wrong woman with the same name, you fucking idiots. So yeah,
like I get that. But for me, like revenge tales, like my parameters for my list and such, and just for revenge movies in general, is that the driving force in the narrative is the revenge, right? Like The whole story is circulating around that revenge. Each act is setting up the story of revenge. And I realize I keep saying that, but I'm trying to reiterate it more and more, because that's where the heart is. That's a revenge movie for me. So like if you go out and we're talking about, I don't know what movies, I got a bunch here, but like technically Batman could be considered a revenge movie. Deadpool could be considered a revenge movie. You know, like you could, but like, well, Deadpool's a little bit is actually the first Deadpool fits the framework of what I'm saying, which is the driving force for the entire narrative was the revenge. And I would say, as much as I love that Deadpool movie, and I think it's one of the funniest, if not the funniest, and just a really well put together film, that story is kind of flimsy after all. It's not that strong of a story. It's not, like, you're not going to build a huge amount off of it. It's the characters that make that story so good, you know?
Sure.
And that's most of the, like Marvel, DC comic book movies, like, which I don't look down on, but that's their purpose. Their purpose is to be sort of easy parables, and sometimes that builds up. But so thinking about so much of these revenge movies, like we were talking to the guys earlier and like seeing what they were saying. I saw Mad Max thrown out. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's not. It is revenge. Like he is going to try and kill them. He goes mad. That's the point for sure.
Right.
So that first one is more of a revenge tale, hence why it's in the 70s, because it seems like everything in the 70s or every revenge tale since is like sort of based or sort of like has some sort of like pays homage to something in the 70s. That's because the 70s was filled with like the R word we're not supposed to say in YouTube will give us a hit, and revenge, R&R. So that's what that's all the 70s was. And Jaws for some reason, but even that's revenge. Oh man, everything sucks. I like the 70s, but like I am wildly like I've not seen a lot from the 70s, like a wild amount. I've seen 8,000 movies easy, and I haven't even gone through my physical yet, which I know are going to be a lot doubled up, into that 8,000, but there may be some gems in there. So there may be some more. I'm not touting that. I've done that my whole life. I've lived a life of working in movies, whether it be filming them when I was in high school or doing the AV club or working at video stores, working at movie theaters, working at Suncoast Video, working. I have one time joked when I was in a movie studio that I have literally worked at every level of movies. So like, now I'm at this point where it's like, wow, yeah. I mean, and I have nothing to show. So we get to this point where, for me, like the 70s, you would think it was the new thing, but like so much revenge. What was wrong with the 70s, Paul? What happened in the 70s that everybody needed revenge?
Vietnam.
Or to sexually assault women, like, because that's basically what the 70s movies were.
Yeah, it was a lot of R&R. I guess the drugs turned bad. They were changing around their formulas, and nobody was handling their shit right.
Where do you think some of the best revenge movies, based off your list without giving it away, what time frame do they usually come from?
Ooh, I'd say late 90s to early 2000s.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I have anything.
My list is going to surprise you.
Like I mean, I think I saw Scream 2 and I was like, oh yeah, that is a revenge. I didn't even say that's a good revenge movie. I said, oh yeah, that is a revenge movie. And then I just walked away from it. But you really dug in your heels deep on that time. Y2K, we'll call it. We'll say the Y2K. Yeah. All 2K is where we're at. Yeah, I think I have 2 movies that came out. I have not been able to dwindle down my list to 5. I have to get there. It's going to be a game time decision. It's hard. I have 2 movies from the early 2000s, but not the same type of movies, I'm sure. And I'm going to see how that
goes. I don't know. This is going to be fun. You're going to see my list. And you're probably going to be like, what's going on, man?
I gotta tell you, revenge movies though for me don't intrigue me much. Like if it doesn't have, and it's funny because the parameters of my list for tonight is the revenge has to be the main focus, right? And I truly think that there's a lot of great movies out there that I chose with that parameter, but they're just such good stories,
right?
But as I look through and I see so much more, and I'm like, and again, I'm not talking about revenge in movies. I'm talking about revenge movies. Has to be the driving force. That has to be the whole thing. Some people said The Prestige, and I'm like, not really. I was like, there's a revenge aspect, but it's not really a revenge movie. It just turns into that.
Yeah.
If anything, it's more about the magic trick, like, you know, the whole idea of illusion and, you know, things like that. So
I'd say The Illusionist would be more of a revenge tale than Prestige if I had to choose one.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. That's more. Still would not really call it that, but yes, it is more of a revenge tale. But like, you know, you see how it's kind of put out. But like, I'm not a big fan of super violent revenge tales. You know what revenge tale I enjoy? Heists.
So I didn't even think of heists. Damn it.
Ocean's 11 is a revenge movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think that, and that's the thing. Under my parameter, that fits because it's the driving force, the whole point. It's not even just revenge for, or you know, because he hides it behind the guys. The whole thing is like, he's dating my ex-wife.
Right.
I'm going to take everything he had. Like, that's revenge in a nutshell. And I thought that was so well done, you know, but in that instant. That's why the violent ones, like, there are a few, don't get me wrong, but like, really's got to land. Actually, I think I just knocked one off my list. Like, I just inadvertently knocked one off my list.
I knocked up a backup off my list, so it's all good.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. I like revenge movies, but like, they got to be clever,
right?
And actually, I'll be honest with you, I like confidence movies more. You know, which I think could fit into like a sort of a subgenre of revenge, because a lot of the confidence movies, like Ocean's 11 probably being the most famous one and the biggest one, which I would more attribute to heist than confidence. Like confidence movies, I would like what was that one with what was it, Will Smith and Margot Robbie, when there was like Babylon? They did like 3 movies together and everybody was talking about them. Focus or something like that.
Thank you. Yeah, that one.
Focus. Yeah. Like that's not a heist movie. That's a confidence movie. They're con men, so that's the whole point. So yeah, and there's not a lot out there, but like The Sting is a confidence movie. Yes, there's revenge aspects, right? Because they're trying. Yeah. You know, they killed his friend, and like the revenge is a big thing that bears down, but it's more of the build, everything playing into it, what the whole thing is. So like, there's a fine line, and I would even put confidence movies as a subgenre, like I said, of revenge movies. But when you get into the revenge side of it, like, it's so bumpy. It really is just so bumpy, because like, even Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars, it's not really a revenge movie. Right. It's not really. It's just a dude trying to grab for power. You know, he doesn't even really hate the Jedi. He's just like, I just want the power. You know, screw him. I don't care. Jesus, man. So like, yeah, when it comes to revenge tales, like, I don't know, like, they are very easy to screw up, in my opinion. Or I feel like they're overused to be gory or something like that for shock value. I hate that, because there's no story, and it bothers me, because it's like, oh great, okay, it's a revenge tale. Like John Wick, I had fun with it. It was fun, good choreography. The fight sequences were just bouncing off everything, which is fantastic. The whole 9. But it's not a good story. In fact, the subtext of the movie, of like who John Wick actually is so much more interesting. And you barely get it, you know, like, it's like, that's why, like, for me, I'm just like, that would have been awesome to find out, like, to really play on, you know. Thank God they didn't kill another dog for those movies.
Yeah, if they did that for every movie, I'd be done. I would have made it past 2. I would have been like, we're good.
That was little puppy, so cute. You watch those movies, like, I don't know, like, for me, they're hit or miss. And even the John Wick movies, by the time I got to the 4th one, I was just kind of like burned out. I was like, all right, I liked it. And you know what it was? It was like, I like Keanu Reeves. I want to see him in other things. That's more argument. And actually, the trailer for Sonic 3 came out, and he's playing Shadow. So I'm like, all right, good.
Now I'm gonna have to see that one.
I love all of them. They're so good. But let's get to our lists. Let's get to started. All right, that's right. We're doing 5 takeaways, revenge movies. We're on theme for tonight in a big way. I don't think I changed. Yeah, revenge movie. Oh, I did change it out. Very nice. See, I was smart. I planned ahead. So, all right, guys. So this is where 5 takeaways. We're going to go over our top 5 revenge movies. Join in. Let us know in the comments what your favorites are. All right. So I'm going to have you start us off this time, Paul. I think it started last time. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is the movie Fracture with Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins.
Ooh, the lawyer one.
Yes.
Is that a revenge tale?
I mean, it's once again, it's kind of, we already talked about it because they reuse it, but it's, wife cheating on husband.
So you're saying the revenge is him trying to get away with her murder?
Yes.
Is the big thing. Okay. I mean, listen, revenge movie. And it's your parameter. Remember, my parameter, guys, was the the driving force of the narrative. You have your own parameter of what you do. So I like that. Fracture is a good movie too.
It's very underrated. I feel like people don't talk about it enough, or most people haven't even seen it.
It's right up there. I like Sleuth too. Like the original with Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier was very good. And if anybody wants to check that out, it's from the 60s or 70s. I forget when it was. And then they remade it with Jude Law and Michael Caine, and they switched roles, and that was good too. And Fractured reminded me of that, where it's very much a cat and mouse between two actors having to play off each other. I thought it was really well done. So good choice. Number 5 on my list is The Wrath of Khan.
Ooh, good choice.
Whole point. The Wrath of Khan. Revenge on Kirk. That's it. That's the whole purpose. I love that movie from beginning to end. It is just a fantastic film. I think, and honestly, I think it's better than most of the Star Wars films coming out. Like that film. That film. Right. Maybe First Contact too. Like, don't get too mad at me. All right. And I will not besmirch the Holy Trilogy. So I love me the trilogy. So no, but for me, Wrath of Khan is just a fantastic revenge film, and it plays out perfectly because there is tragedy, and
right,
there is the cause, and then the effect, and we feel it, and then 3 completely ruins the effect. So whatever. But what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Gangs of New York.
That is a lame answer, and I hate you for
it. Why?
No, it's good. I thought it was good. I don't think it's as great as people remember it.
Okay.
I just
see it's one of my comfort movies. That's another movie that
it's great. But that's
that's because it's so long. That's why it's perfect for when I'm sick.
Shawshank does that for me.
I can see that.
Yeah. I can see the long movies too. There are some I'll put Wyatt Earp on. I will get mad if I'm tired and I just want to lay on the couch and Tombstone's on and not Wyatt Earp, because I can fall asleep to Wyatt Earp. Can't fall asleep to Tombstone.
You're not wrong. I get that. There's certain movies I fucked myself, but sorry, I messed myself up by putting them on, knowing full well I'm gonna be like, then I'm just wide awake. Damn,
that's very fair. All right, so that's your number 4 then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my number 4 is Man on Fire.
Ooh.
Oh, I love that movie, and that's actually a remake. There is a Man on Fire from the 80s starring Scott Glenn and Joe Pesci. Same role, same story, the whole nine, but that Denzel Washington one was so good. It was just that's, if you're gonna make a revenge movie, that's how you do it. Build up this guy's heart. His only art is death, and then he goes to war. I loved it. I just thought it was so good. But what is your number 3, sir?
My number 3 is Apocalypto.
Yeah.
I like it. So I had to choose one that, I didn't want to go John Wick, and I get this essentially is kind of the same thing, but I really like how they did it. I feel like they don't do enough good films with Mesoamericans and talking about the Aztecs and things like that. So I liked how they kind of incorporated that. And I enjoyed that film. I know a lot of people kind of shit on it, and I'm not saying it's the best, but to me, I think it's a pretty solid revenge tale.
Okay, I got you. I'm down with it. Mel Gibson too. He's got another one for sure.
Does he?
3 on my list. Yes, he's got it's with Mark Wahlberg, and no, it's fine. And I forget who else in it, but Mark Wahlberg's in it. And Topher Grace, but somebody else is in it. I can't think of the young lady's name who's in the movie. I know her too. I can picture her face, but I cannot think of her name. So I'm gonna move on. Number 3 on my list is The Count of Monte Cristo, which is my favorite book, by the way, growing up. I loved The Count of Monte Cristo. He comes back and he just kind of gets his revenge, but he takes it. He takes all the power away. It's so good. And he has to go through hell to get it. And I love that about that. And it was a great movie too. If people haven't seen it, really well done movie. So what is your number 2, sir?
You're probably going to hate this one because it's an odd revenge. It's a revenge that ends up hurting the person too. which I kind of like the dynamics of it, and that's Mystic River.
Oh yeah, it's a really great movie. I thought about that one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great movie. I just watched that recently with Sturdy.
Okay.
I think it was Sturdy.
Yeah.
And then that's a powerful movie, man. It really is from beginning to end. It hits you hard in a lot of ways. And that revenge aspect of it too. Oh, I don't want to give away any. And I don't mind usually ruining endings, but like I don't want to give that away. All right, my number 2 on my wonderful list is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
I mean, don't get more revenge than that. I'm going to take your kids out in their dreams. Good luck. Give them the Mountain Dew. So like that, to me, it's an off the wall revenge one, but the driving force of the whole thing is revenge. That's Freddy's whole purpose, is to revenge, the revenge of his murder.
Right.
I mean, listen, not saying it shouldn't like do his pedophile, which I'm not saying you should burn anybody. I'm not gonna. Don't come to my house and be like, hey, come to the boiler room. No, I get the cops. Let's deal with this where I don't burn someone alive, because I don't want to do that. Accidents happen. No, not if you stay home. Paul's entire life flashed before his eyes when I said that. He was just like, I have not stayed home.
You're not wrong.
Every moment where you were like, I should have stayed home, hit your face at the same exact time when I said that. No regrets, buddy. Live it out. Choices made.
Embrace absurdity.
Embrace absurdity. I love it. And number 1 on your revenge list, sir, what is it?
Memento.
Oh, good one. I didn't even think of Memento. Oh, that's such a good choice.
I just love that movie, period. And
like I'm not going to replace it, but Memento would definitely be in my top 10. That's a good one. My number 1 on this list, Kill Bill. I mean, but the whole bloody affair. It's got to be that version of it, because all together, it's the perfect revenge story.
It is
It really is. Like, I mean, I hard argue with anybody to say like, oh, what's a more pure revenge story? And if you say fucking Death Wish, I swear to God, I'm going to ruin my life. That movie is dog shit. Forget it. I don't even want to talk about it. But my number 1 is good, and you should check it out. Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Added some new elements to it. A lot of fun. Do you have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mention was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, okay, cool. I like the book better. I don't really like the movie, but
and then I made sure to shout out. Oh, sorry. Monkey Man.
Oh yeah, good one. That was a good one. I don't think it would make my top 10, but it was a good one. And my number 1. Did I say my number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Oh, my honorable mentions: Old Boy and Heathers.
There you go. I didn't even think of Heathers. Duh.
Yeah. Dude, I love this movie.
That crazy movie.
And that's our 5 takeaways and a little bit more. So thanks for joining in for that if you're watching the clip. But go check out the whole episode because we'll talk about more. Let's get into our review. Let's start with The Crow, because I think we both sort of feel the same way about The Crow. And that's so we both got out to see it. So this is the sort of remake. I'm not even going to say, maybe a reboot is more a good use. A good word to use in this situation, because this is definitely a version of The Crow for way younger audiences, I feel. And we're going to get into that, but just to give you guys an idea, it's the idea itself. Eric Draven, his fiance, they get brutally murdered, and he comes back to avenge both of them as the Crow, because the Crows brought him back, because that's what happens. If you've seen the first movie, you know it's the Crows. It was Bill Skarsgård plays Eric Draven in this one. And let's just get into there's gonna be a little bit of I think spoilers here, so I'm gonna put up the banner before we talk about them. But before I get started, Paul, I want to hear what you think about it. Don't give your rating yet, but let's talk about it.
Okay. So it's hard because I grew up with the original Crow. And I love Brandon Lee, R.I.P. I did like. I'm going to try to pick out the good things I liked about it. So I liked that Skarsgård didn't try to redo Brandon Lee's take on the Crow. I like that he kind of did his own variation of it. I respect that. I just feel like they didn't build the characters enough to give a shit. I just didn't care. So when he gets his revenge, I was like, okay, cool. that kind of happened. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just felt like I don't know. It was just like going through the motions of this, like, because you knew what was going to happen if you saw the original. So you already knew what you were in for. But they made him too, and I get it's a comic book, but they made it too comic book-y, in my opinion, to where it wasn't like the original Crow to me, where I was like, oh, this is like a solid movie. It's like, oh,
Wow. You and I very differently on that. The original movie. I just watched it the other day. That is a comic book movie via the night. 100%. That is. What do you think
Sorry,
the 90s
but that's
was?
Man, I was
You think we
growing up,
just
I don't
all
even know,
normally
man.
dressed like the Crow and everything was like Detroit?
Yeah, man.
There's just fires everywhere.
The Matrix came out, then it was all the big jackets and leather everywhere, and fucking Rob Zombie playing in the background. Yeah,
I did wear many leather jackets.
did you really?
Yeah, I always had a leather
Hell
jacket
yes.
at one point. It was
Did you
all
wear
different.
Jankos? Did you wear Jankos?
No, I wasn't a Janko kid. No, I was actually like, it was more of like a long blazer, but it was leather.
Okay,
I think it went
you
down
were
to my
dapper
knees.
man.
I fucking Angel from Buffy and Angel, man. I was like, this looked like that type of look. I was like, Jesus Christ, no vampire. I don't sparkle.
But as far as I'm
I have
concerned,
no white face paint like the Crow. So.
As far as for once, I kind of agree with the audience's score and Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's barely a 20. They gave it up to what, a 20% now, but I think the 8% it originally had Friday and Saturday is about where I'd put it. I had friends ask if they should pay to go see it, and I was like, I'd wait to stream it, man. There's no reason to. I wouldn't waste the money to go see it in theater if I didn't have the subscription.
Hard to argue, but I am going to argue a little bit because I liked it a little bit more than you did, and I get that. And here's I think where some more of the spoiler side of it's going to come in. It's a very brutal movie. It's very dark. Unless it's like not dark, then it looks like a Hollister commercial, like when they're all swimming and everything. It's like Jesus. But basically, these two met in rehab, escaped extremely easily, like so easy you have no idea. Like I did not know you could get out of rehab this easy, and they did. So with that being said, they get away and then they have friends. They're together and they have friends and they're hanging out with their friends and they're getting tattoos and they're partying. Then they get brutally murdered because she did something murdery, because Danny Houston plays a bad guy. And I don't know if this is comic book accurate. I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't read the comics when I was younger. I did like the movie, and we'll get into that in a few. And I have nothing against the comics. I actually like the artwork of the original. And I'm probably going to pick it up. I think I'll appreciate it more at this age. But anyway, neither here nor there. Like I love the original. I liked it when I talked about it. Early on, we were, a couple months ago, I think we were talking about when they mentioned this, but, and then I rewatched it this weekend, and that might become more of a mainstay for me. I might watch The Crow more often. It's that good. I forgot how good and how stylized it was. Mm-hmm. And you're right. Here's the funny thing. You're right about what you said about the looks, but you're also wrong because of how you said it. And I love you for that.
Story of my life.
Well, if you take these two movies, and really, Paul hit the nail on the head when it comes to this new Crow. It's okay. I think it's okay. I think if you watch it, it'll be fine. If you and your girl or your guy or your girls and whoever's together, you are with your significant other, and you go out and you watch this and you're into horror and you're into that thriller sort of thing, I think you'll dig it. It might be a fun date movie, but I would not recommend, like, there's so many other fun date movies to go see. Like, I'm torn. So this might be a way for streaming, because it's going to be out soon enough. Everything's coming out like 2 weeks later at this point. So wait for streaming with this one. It kind of misses its mark. I will say this, I could see why maybe younger audiences might like it. It seemed very stylized in its nature of like how it deals with grief and everything, all these different themes. I saw that represented in the original 90s one as well, in a very 90s way. So like, that's what I mean. Like, they were both stylized to the generations that exist. So like, I was watching this thinking, I don't think this is meant for me. I think as a movie fan, I can watch it and enjoy it, but I think this speaks to a younger generation in many ways, like The Crow did for me when I was at that point. It's like all emo; it's all relative at this point. You know, like, this is what I'm saying. So like, it's fine. It just isn't what I recognize. You know what I mean? If Sting is not walking down my high school corridor and Bill Skarsgård is dressed the way he is, he's getting his ass kicked just as much as the one who was just like Sting. High school was hard in the 90s, man. You got beat up for everything. It's the worst. God forbid you're a horror fan. Satanist.
I'm the Crow. God, just
oh my God! Right?
Shit out of that kid.
I had a buddy. I had a buddy who was like very into that, like he dressed that way, right? And like that was his style. It was in the goth world, right? And like he got fucked with all the time. And like, but we all did. But we all did for something different, so nothing felt right. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, is anyone doing this right at this point? And now I'm derailing this this wonderful review. So if anybody's watching the clip, is probably like, what the hell are they talking about? Anyway, what I'm saying is, don't dress like the Crow in school. It might not go well, especially his new one. His new one was pretty rough.
Yeah,
at least the old one looked like a Halloween costume. You know, that was another thing. It didn't take place in Halloween. I should duck the half point for that, but I'm not gonna. Let's just give our ratings now. Now I'm pissed. You made me mad, Paul.
You're welcome.
Oh no, we both gave it 2.5. That's what it is. Yeah, so might go down to
different reviews, same rating. I like it.
It is. It really is. It's just not that great a movie. So I think thank you for watching this one. If you're watching the clip, check out the whole episode. But let's get into our next one, Blink Twice. So Blink Twice is directed by Zoe Kravitz. It's her directorial debut. Stars Channing Tatum. I can't think of the actress name. She was in the Whitney Houston movie.
Naomi.
Yeah, I have to look it up because she was so good. She was good in this, man. She was the one I really enjoyed the most out of everybody.
Attica.
I'm looking
something with an A.
Naomi Aki. So Channing Tatum, Naomi Aki, Drea Jorna, who you may have just seen in The Hitman, which was a good one. Go check that out. Aaliyah Shawkat, she played the young cousin maybe in Arrested Development. Haley Joel Osment, Simon Rex is in this. And Gina Davis is in this. Christian Slater showed up. All right. When Christian Slater shows up in a movie or a TV show, hardcore going to be creepy. I know it.
Yes.
Now, do I think Christian Slater is a creepy individual? No. I think, whatever his demons were in the past, stuff like that. When I see him in interviews, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Like, he seems kind of down to earth, like likes talking. Like, he's funny. So, like, that's where I weigh it. Don't care. Probably never going to meet him. So I have to add, though, whenever I see him show up in a movie, creepy. I know this is going to be like, I didn't know what this movie was going into it. And then I saw him and I was like, oh, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
But what kind? Because it's going to be creepy. So that's where I went with it. I was like, Channing Tatum's weird white teeth, with his little, like, he kind of with the white teeth and like the pointy beard, he kind of reminded me of Jax from Sons of Anarchy at times.
I could see that.
Yeah,
she said that. Yeah.
So he, Charlie Hunnam. So yeah, all these people are in this movie. Zoe Kravitz directorial debut. It's about two young women, kind of get whisked away by a tech billionaire to his private islands, to party with other ladies that are there and other guys who are there. They're just having a really fun time on this resort type mansion island, and it's craziness. And then as it goes on, things seem to be taking weirder and weirder turns until some things get really revealed. And I don't want to give anything away with this because I was I didn't realize where this was going when I got there.
Gotcha.
I did after, and I was like, wow, they set this up because they were setting this up with dialogue. They were doing a lot of things in this movie. I did not like the first 45 minutes of this movie. The first 45 minutes of this movie I thought were too drawn out, too long, too all over the place. I felt like you could have condensed that down about 20 minutes or maybe even 25 minutes, like down to 25 minutes or something like that. And then maybe even expanded more on the last 45 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Or just left it. Even if you just left it at like 25 and 45, like it's not a long movie, but it would have been a pretty good one. And being a horror movie, I'm always at that sweet spot of like 88 minutes, you know. So this is a horror movie. This is very triggering. It's very realistic horror. It's hard, you know. And so I just want to give anybody a warning if they go and check it out. With that being said, once things kick off and you get this revenge sort of like turn on its head, I really did enjoy that turn. I thought they did a great job in the third act. They really pushed it. And I will tell you, and it's the only like little spoiler I will give. So anybody like, and it's not going to give anything away, but the whole point of it was originally called Pussy Island because it's supposed to be very much Epstein Island-ish. Like they whisk these women away and then it's like to their horror, and you find out why and how as you go through it. But in the beginning of the movie, she's talking to the guy's therapist, and he goes, blink twice if you're in danger. And that really you don't understand how much that's going to set up. And I really do want to go more in depth about this movie again. I might want to watch it again before I do, but that goes when it's set up. But later on, when she sees him again, she blinks once. She goes, so nice to see you again, and blinks. And I was like, that was a really good payoff.
Yes.
I thought, and that, again, I'm not giving anything away. You'll see it for yourself. But I thought that was a really satisfying payoff to this ending. What did you think?
So am I allowed to do spoilers or no spoilers at all?
You can, but I got to put up the banner.
Okay.
So I was trying to
put up the banner just
You're going to put up the banner?
Just because I don't want to accidentally say something that I shouldn't, because I probably will.
That's fair. So everybody, these spoiler warnings now.
Yes, I will spoil it for you. Santa Claus ain't real. Zoe Kravitz, I loved her directing debut. I'm not gonna lie. I thought for her first one, I was thoroughly impressed. That being said, moving forward, I love Naomi. I loved her acting. I did think the beginning was drawn out a little too long. I think they made it a little too unbelievable that they happen to run into the tech billionaire and all this shit when they're upset, or when she was obsessed with him. I almost wish it had been more of almost a game show type thing, like, oh, we want a chance to meet him or this and that, not like we're caterers and then we happen to bump into him, then it happened. And they just made it seem too convenient, kind of like how The Crow did with them getting out of the
well, that was the point. They've been there. They've been to the island before.
Right. But I don't know. I just think they should have done something different just to make it seem, because we didn't know they had been there before until the end, and they didn't know they had been there before until later. So that's what I'm saying.
But the guys knew they were there. The guys set this up to make them be there.
Right. But they still could have set it up as something more fun, like, oh, win a chance to meet the tech billionaire, you know, fucking like my Instagram picture.
But the whole point of it was to make her want to come to him.
Right.
Him being at this thing. Oh, she somehow gets a chance to go. She's so obsessed. She wants to go to him. He loves that affection from her. So when he saw her show up, he's like, I'm taking you. And that's why at the end, when he's like, you're my best friend, he truly believes this. He doesn't know what it's like to have a friend. All these guys are like part of the monsters, like completely like, he's a monster too, don't get me wrong, but like part of the monsters heading him on. So I guess I'm not seeing how them going there, like, why would a contest make it?
I don't. So what I was saying, I don't know. It just doesn't, to me, that doesn't make sense. That, like, let's say, I don't know, because I'm not obsessed with celebrities like that. But if I was obsessed with Jenna Ortega, like, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense that I'm at my job and then all of a sudden Jenna Ortega's there. Then I fumble some piece of fucking furniture and she's like, "Oh, well, let me help you." And then all this, as opposed to if I was obsessed with her and Sturdy was running a contest to meet her, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll just throw my name in there and like the picture." Oh, I won, and I still get to meet her. That makes a little bit more sense. It's more realistic to me.
I disagree within the physics of this movie, though. And the reason I say that is because I see what you're saying. That's been done. Right. You know, there's always been the contest to like, and then it either turns to shit or it's a love story that just is like, wow. You know, like it's a love triangle somehow. And I'm not against the idea of that, but them winning a contest is the chance. Now, it would be cool if they did that, if he had a lot of women that he was doing this to over time, which he did. And we knew that, but like he had a lot of women that he was allowing this to happen to over time. And then he would run contests and they would all enter obsessively to meet him. And then he would just take his pick on who he's going to bring. And if they played that storyline out, but because like over and over, like he almost, like his version of love,
Right.
which was really just a desire or lust towards her because he had no one else. Like he was taking steps like through even in therapy to manipulate her. And that was why I thought it was so good that Jess went with them, because she had never been there before. So when she got bit by the snake, all the effects of the toxins wore off.
Right.
Instantly, and I and that's why it's so quick. Like how many times has what's her name been there? To the effect where she can't remember in real life anything.
And I had a gripe about that. Just because it seemed like that toxin didn't stay in your system that long. So I was kind of curious what the time span was from the last time she was there to the current time we got to see her go there.
No, it stayed in their systems as long as it did until the snake bite juice came in. Because remember, she drank it, and that's when her effects wore off.
Right.
Because the woman walked in with the bottle, and it's
just until you take the venom, then it's just taking effect. Period.
I mean, I don't think they went that far into it, but yeah, I would assume so. Because,
no, that's fine. That answers my question.
yeah. So I think they would come out of it when they were going through the trauma, and then they said they would clean them up, and then they would make them forget and then put them back. So it was a really intense.
It was tough. It was tough, and I knew it'd be tough. And I appreciated that they put a trigger warning at the beginning of this movie. It was interesting seeing that pop up on the screen. I'll stay away from those words, but the R&R, it was tough, man. Even though it was I'll say it was brief. So if it is a sensitive subject for you guys and triggering, I'm not trying to say it won't trigger you, but I will say they do it very respectfully and they do it very quickly. But it is very intense, like super intense.
She does do such a great job. Sorry to jump on that though. She does a really great job visually telling it from what I have to assume is a woman's point of view.
Right.
Because there was nothing sexualized about it.
No.
It was just disgusting.
Yeah.
And when I say disgusting, it's not gory. It's nothing. It's not, like Paul said, but it is. We all know what that is, and that's disgusting.
Yeah.
So, but they got past that. Like overall, let's give our ratings for the movie. I gave it a 3. I liked it. And you gave it 2.5, which I see, and I think works too. I think that's like middle of the road sort of. Go check it out. Like it didn't blow me away. I would say wait for streaming.
Right.
I'm also going to tell you, get through that first 45 minutes if you want to see the good stuff. Because again, that first 45 minutes, if I had bailed on that, like I knew I was going to review it, so I was going to watch the whole thing. But if this was just a movie I was watching, I probably would have bailed on it.
Yeah.
Because 45 minutes was just they weren't doing enough. They weren't building a tension up enough. They were just like having fun and it's getting crazy. And it's like by that point, I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like, all right. So that's why it doesn't have a very high rating for me. But
and same for me. And for me, it's rewatchability, and because of the theme of it, it's just like spit on your grave. This is a movie I watched once. This is also a movie I watched once. I don't get joy from it, so I just won't watch it again just because I get it and that's it. And
I get that.
That's for me. I'm not saying it's an absolute shit movie, but for me,
I can see why though. It's a hard one. Like even when I'm saying like I may watch it again, it's for research purposes for film. Like it's not going to be a fun watch.
Right? Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm in a good mood. Let's watch Blink twice. Yay. No.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Maybe the first 45 minutes and then watch the first 45 minutes and then watch Without a Paddle.
There you
go. I feel like you can complement those movies well.
Just watch Scary Movie 2 or 3 because it's got that guy from, I forget that actor's name. I Have a Dream. What is a dream? To Have a Dream.
Simon Rex. Yeah.
There you go.
He was
fucking Simon Rex. I was like, what the fuck is he doing? Anyway.
He told the story, and I remember this. He was an MTV VJ back in the 90s, and he interviewed Tupac completely stoned off his ass. Live.
That's awesome.
Watched it live. It was crazy. It was funny. All right, let's move on to mixed movie pick from 1966, and we will have a classic film review out for it either tomorrow or Thursday. I forget when it's scheduled, but make sure you like and subscribe for that. We're talking about the movie A Man for All Seasons. It is about Thomas More, the Lord Chancellor of England, who was put to task by King Henry VIII to drive out the Roman Catholic Church, so then that way he can have his own indoctrination and divorce and remarry without the church holding anything over his head. Thomas More was a man of integrity who did not go against his own beliefs and therefore suffered a great tragedy. This is his story through that. This is a very good character-driven story. This is very well told story. And if you really want to look at like what integral heroes that stand on principles look like an Atticus Finch type, this is definitely a good one, and I think you should check it out. I love this movie. Just to jump on that, I want to say thank you everybody for watching and hanging out with us tonight. But before we go, a few announcements. Again, thank you to our sponsor StubHub. We truly appreciate it. Go get your tickets. Venues coming up. You want to go see a comedy show? You want to go see a sporting event coming up? Football's coming up. Go to StubHub, get your tickets. I might actually go see Bruce Springsteen this weekend, and I will be getting my tickets on StubHub right down at the link below. Let them know we sent you. We truly appreciate it. But guys, this Friday, I will be watching The Last Drive-In Night Marathon, and I bought the survival kit, and I did a review for it. That's right. So go check it out. Let me know what you think, and if you're joining in, join over on our Discord. Only way to do that, you got to become a patron, either free or paid tier. You pick. I don't care. Appreciate the support on the paid, appreciate the follow on the free, but you're going to get your own perks like our newsletter, links. We're doing giveaways. We have another giveaway happening next month. Again, I'm going to give a little hint to what that could be. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Yeah, maybe a little popcorn bucket. That's right. A little hint. Beetlejuice. And that's all I'm going to say. But how dare you if he shows up? So, and we will be reviewing that next week. Of course, the wonderful ladies over at the VHS Club podcast are going to be joining us. I want to thank my awesome co-host Paul for joining in today. I want to thank all of you for watching, listening, keeping it alive. I was really dejected last week after Podcast Movement and just kind of seeing how the industry I've spent 13 years in. This is my 13th year of podcasting, and I love it. Doesn't really respect what I do, but my love of film, my love of filmmaking and things like that, I have to keep this up. And I appreciate every one of you out there who supports this and is a part of it, sees the journey and the channel that I'm building, and comes out and wants to follow and join in on the Snob Nation. That's right. Let me say the motto. We love movies, and we know you do too. So join the Snob Nation. But before we go, Paul, you want to say anything?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you guys, it's getting colder. Mick just listed a lot of good things that are coming up in the next couple months. Also, it's a harder time for a lot of people as well, with a lot of family gatherings, things like that, when you don't have all your family members or even friends or things like that. So sure to reach out to your friends, check in on family members, do a check on yourself, because the next couple months are a little harder for a lot of us. Stay true to who you are, and if you need help, we're always free. Reach out to us. We always have the links below for any help you need. Don't be afraid to ask, because we all need help on different levels, and you need to do what you got to do. But keep watching movies, keep loving the magic of movies, and we'll see you next time.
And Paul will stay out of the aviation gin. No, very good points. Thank you. Yes, we do have mental health resources always in our links down below. So if you ever need anything, they'll help you out. So great point, Paul. Thank you so much. Thank you again, everybody, for watching and listening. Remember, be kind, stay classy, and take care of yourselves, because that's important. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later.